Welcome back, everybody, from around the world. It's Blake Cousins along with my brother Brent. We've got a lot of UFO sightings for you tonight, so let's roll it. Coming in from Chicago, take a look at this.
Never been more stressed watching someone else videotape something. We've already gotten out of view range, but it's like, okay. What is that? Wait, no, let's think logically about this.
What is that?
Yeah, that doesn't look normal.
It's not normal at all. What is that?
I don't know if I should be concerned or not. Okay, wait, let's think logically about this. I swear to God, it's changing.
All right, so we're looking at this video again, and let me tell you, I'm kind of with these guys. I have no idea what these guys captured on their video camera. What is this? Could it be biological? Could it be something else? I'm not exactly sure, and I'm going to leave it up to you guys in the chat to tell us what you think it is. Brent, what's your thoughts? Yeah, Blake, you hear it in their voices. They're bewildered about what they're seeing. They can't identify it, and like he said, I can't identify it either. What is this thing? It has this peculiar shape. It looks almost like some would say a tuning fork, somewhat hovering up in the sky. Go back on the frame, and it extends quite some way over the cityscape of Chicago. This thing's massive. I'd say probably in the length of 60 to 70 feet. And it's just hovering there, this unique craft that doesn't show any means of propulsion. It's a very strange sighting, to say the least. Absolutely. I'm digging this one because you got the eyewitnesses and you could hear it in their voices. They're excited and they're baffled of what they're looking at. And again, so am I. And this is good stuff. And I'm loving these kind of UFO videos. And here's a good one. Coming in from our friend. He's got a YouTube channel. It's called UFO Man. He wants us to take a close look at it. What's going on? An astronomer captures something while he has his lens pointed at the sun of two craft entering the massive star, our sun, and exiting out on the other side, leaving some kind of plasmic trail in its wake. What the heck is this? Are there UFOs harnessing the energy from the sun? This evidence comes in every once in a while of this kind of phenomenon, and we're looking at it once again. But I'm liking this because we have this time not one object, but two objects in unison entering and exiting the sun. What's going on here, Brett? Yeah, good stuff. We've seen this, like you said, a few times over the years at Third Phase. And again, this is a good capture. Two objects piercing the sun, leaving a plasma trail on the way out. I counted it. It seemed like it was hidden maybe in the sun or in front of the sun for more than 6 seconds. It took a while for it to traverse to the other side. Could this be something in our own atmosphere, or maybe satellites up there in space, some sort of new space technology, Space Force, you might say, or something otherworldly? What's going on here? This is a great capture, very unique. It's good focus. Too bad we can't have a super powerful telescope to zoom up on these objects to clarify what they are, but right now they're unidentified and we don't know what it is. Good stuff. So something really bizarre just happened, and let me tell you, things are getting a little too close for comfort. The Tic Tac has been spotted in the air and underneath the water, and just a few days ago, almost a dozen sailors have been injured after a U.S. nuclear attack submarine hit an unknown underwater object in the South China Sea. The Seawolf class nuclear attack submarine, the USS Connecticut, suffered some kind of underwater collision while operating in international waters on October 2nd. And as it was returning to port, there was a specific incident that now has come public. The U.S. Pacific Fleet spokesman confirmed that the Seawolf class first class attack submarine, the USS Connecticut, struck an object on the afternoon of October 2nd while operating in international waters in the Indo-Pacific region. The safety of the crew kind of still remains a mystery, but according to insiders, there's no life-threatening injuries, but there were at least a dozen sailors that were injured in this collision with the unknown object. The submarine, it still remains in a safe and stable condition, which is good. And the U.S. Connecticut's nuclear propulsion plant and the spaces that are involved to have this submarine in operational orders is not in any jeopardy at the moment. The extent of the damage, however, still kind of remains a mystery at this time, the incident still being investigated. Apparently, the attack boat is now heading to Guam as it's expected to pull in within the next day or so, and they're going to check out this underwater strike and see if there's any kind of remnants of whatever this thing was. We've heard of this kind of technology. These Tic Tacs have been sighted to traverse underneath the water through a supposed cavitation technology that has still yet been released to the public. But right now, we're getting some reports that the submarine was deployed on May 27th. Apparently, there is some history behind this. The last known instance where a submerged U.S. submarine struck another underwater object was back in 2005, and the USS San Francisco struck some kind of underwater mountain at full speed near Guam. One sailor died in that incident. We also have historical evidence right here at Third Phase Moon via Michael Schratt, who explained about a collision or a near encounter with some kind of unknown bullet-shaped object, and the Russians had no idea what it was. So listen to this.
And there's definitely multiple reports of USOs during the Reagan administration, so this would be early 1982, 83, 84 timeline. And it involves a Soviet Typhoon-class nuclear submarine that encountered a bullet-shaped USO about 150 feet in length that popped right next to the submarine and went off into the atmosphere. So this is vintage early Reagan administration.
So it's not unusual. The US, Russia, and probably China has had encounters with USOs, and it seems that they're on the rise. Whether this was some kind of hostile intent or was it an accident still remains a mystery, but right now it's kind of interesting. We have news confirmed from our Navy that there was some kind of collision with an unknown object. Guys, I want to get your thoughts. What do you think happened? Now, even more astonishing, now that the military is coming forward with these UFO sightings, now Homeland Security has kind of stepped in and dropped a video a couple days ago in regards to something that was captured over the Arizona desert in Tucson. It's legitimate footage coming in from a 40-minute video of Department of Homeland Security using FLIR optics. The system was in black hot mode, and the footage was captured by an RC-26 reconnaissance plane looking for smugglers or any kind of nefarious activity over the sands and desert plains of Tucson, Arizona. The object again was spotted 20 minutes into the footage, and we're showing it to you right now, and we're just going to let it roll as we all look at this together and kind of wrap our heads around what this object is. Keep in mind that this thing was clocked up to 90 and 200 miles an hour as it flies over the desert surface, and it's changing direction as it flies, and it's estimated to be about maybe 5 to 6 feet in length. So if there were reports of winds blowing 100 to 200 miles an hour this month in Tucson, Arizona, I think that would have made the news. So if this were some kind of a balloon, in my opinion, it would be impossible to be drifting at 90 to 200 miles an hour. The balloon would only be able to float and drift across as much as the wind's blowing it. So was there a hurricane or something going on in Arizona? I think not. Whatever this thing is, it's traveling way too fast and too stable to be a simple balloon, in my opinion. And why would the Homeland Security be so interested in this object, tracking it for 20 minutes? We're looking at it, and again, let's just let it roll. So, Brent, I want to get your thoughts. You know, this came in from Homeland Security, and again, we're a channel that shares all the evidence, and this one runs for 20 minutes. And we're going to share the whole entire footage of when this object appeared in front of the FLIR cam. And we're watching it, and we're sharing the evidence. And let me tell you, this thing just kind of drifts across the desert of Arizona. And it does not budge one way or the other. It's not really oscillating. It has this glow to it. And from the evidence of what this camera picks up in FLIR, apparently this thing isn't giving off any kind of heat signature. So the propulsion behind this isn't generating any heat, and one might say it's the wind. But again, it was tracked at 90 to 200 miles an hour. So like I said earlier, if there was a hurricane going on, this would make sense. But we haven't heard of any kind of hurricanes in that region in a long time. What could have caused this? It's pretty interesting. Brent, what's your thoughts here as we let this roll? Yeah, definitely a 20-minute capture. Sometimes you got to let it all run out and follow the details and see what happens with this object as it's panning across the landscape. It gives us good parallax, and you can kind of see that the speed is definitely picked up on this object. Whatever it is, it's booking. We see kind of like a point, a dot, and then another point above this object, almost like it's two parcels. Are they connected? It's a cool sighting, to say the least. Again, I wish we would have more detail. Where's the video footage of this rather than just FLIR? FLIR kind of doesn't give the full evidence like we see in the gimbal or the Tic Tac or the Go Fast. I want to see the full range color video, which probably would add a lot to what we're looking at. And watch this for 20 minutes because there's a lot to observe on this craft. And if this was clocked at 100 to 200 miles an hour, we're looking at technology that might be one of ours, but it seemed like it caught the pilot's eye to capture this for 20 minutes straight. Yeah, look at this thing. We're just continuing to watch it along with everybody here, and we're appreciating everybody in this live premiere. And like I said, when we receive UFO videos, we want to share all the evidence, and that's what we're doing tonight. It's an extended Third Phase of Moon episode with this kind of breaking news coming in from the Homeland Security's cameras. One thing I wish they did, since they had 20 minutes tracking this thing, why not fly down a little closer to this thing and get a close look? It seems like they keep a consistent distance from this object, and they're not approaching it in a way that they seem that they had the capability to do so. So in my opinion, there's something going on here. Did they want to keep this video obscure like they have in all these other videos like the Tic Tac Go Fast? Why again aren't they releasing the super clear footage? Are they just trying to tease us with these little drops, these crumbs of evidence? And in my opinion, hey, it's good, And I'm glad they're sharing this stuff, but I'm asking the question, why didn't they just get into a closer proximity to this object? They had the ability, in my opinion. Brent, what's your thoughts on that? Yeah, it's definitely a big question to ask. Yeah, I really couldn't tell you. It seems like he wanted to keep that range, maybe keeping a safe distance from this thing. Again, we're looking at something that's traversing over the landscape there, and I don't believe our U.S. military would be interested in following domestic balloons, your typical party balloons. And if this thing's being tracked at such a high speed, a balloon like that you would pick up at your store would burst and it would pop at that speed. We're looking at something that kind of, again, it's unidentified, and that's the best thing. We still got quite a bit of time on this UFO. If you got popcorn, you got 5 minutes to cook that up and sit back and enjoy this UFO video as we watch it all in real time together. That's right. Give us a big thumbs up if you're enjoying this. And I'm seeing that we're gaining some viewers right now. And if you're just joining us, this is Homeland Security footage that has just dropped within the past couple days. There's some debunkers out there on this. And, debunkers have their own ways of thought process. And if you're a debunker out there, you can, in my opinion, you can never be wrong. You got to be 100% consistent. And I see some of these guys debunking things, and then we find out later that their debunk was not a debunk. It was kind of a misinformation. And that's what happens in this field. Sometimes they get it right, sometimes they don't. And just like everybody, we here at Third Phase of Moon, we're human too. We don't claim to be experts. We just claim to be experts, getting you the footage as fast as possible, like no other. And we're doing it right now as we watch this continue to traverse across Tucson, Arizona. And it's kind of interesting. These guys were out there looking for smugglers out there, nefarious people doing things that they shouldn't be. But then this came up on their flare unexpectedly, and now we're watching it with everybody. It sure cut their interest, no doubt about it. Let's just let it roll here. Yeah, I like this part. I remember I scrubbed through this video quickly looking at it, and there were some sequences in the video that kind of stood out to me. And again, the illuminated feature on this craft is interesting because it's being picked up by FLIR. Again, like Brent said earlier, I'd like to see the full spectrum, just broad colors without this FLIR imagery. And I'm sure they have both versions of it, but they're just putting this one out, maybe to confuse us again, as usual. But they're trickling these UFOs, or as they call it, UAPs, out to the public, and we're looking at it right now in real time. So guys, I want to get your opinion. What do you think was captured by the Homeland Security? Is this some kind of UAP, as they call it, or UFO? Or is it something within our assets that they're keeping an eye on and not telling us of this kind of technology that doesn't need any wings or signs of propulsion? There's something going on, and we need to find out. I thank everybody for joining us in this live premiere. You guys have been great. Looking at the chat room tonight's been really exciting, and we love all the comments and the super chats. You guys really help the cause when you support Third Phase Moon. We've got a lot on our table. We've got a couple documentaries coming up at the end of the month, and that's called Who Saw the Men in Black, and that's going to be coming out in October, so buckle up for that. We've got our sequel to Countdown to Disclosure coming right around the corner early next year, real early, and let me tell you, it's a mind bender. And we're going to be dropping some information and a trailer on that very soon, so make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified when we share the news to you in real time. Blake Cousins along with my brother Brent. Be safe, everybody. We'll see you next time.